The Russian teammates Maksim Vylegzhanin, left, Alexander Legkov, center, and Ilia Chernousov swept the medals in the men's 50-kilometer cross-country race at the 2014 Winter Olympics. Russia was ordered to return the 3 silver medals that Vylegzhanin won at the Games, the International Olympic Committee said on Thursday. Legkov, who won the gold in the 50K race, had already been disqualified because of doping. Matthias Schrader, Associated Press. The International Olympic Committee announced on Thursday that it had penalized 4 Russian athletes for doping violations at the 2014 Winter Games in Sochi, prompting criticism from President Vladimir V Putin of Russia. 4 cross-country skiers were disqualified and barred from competing in future Olympics: Yulia Ivanova, Alexei Petakov, Evgenia Shapovalova, and Maksim Vylegzhanin. At the Sochi Games, Vylegzhanin won 3 silver medals, which Olympic officials ordered Russia to return. Though the officials who announced the disciplinary decisions were Swiss and Spanish, Putin called the decisions an American attempt to undermine Russia and affect his nation's presidential election in March. He cited a web of connections and dependencies within international sports. The controlling stake is located in the United States, because the main companies that order and pay for television rights, the main sponsors, the main advertisement buyers and so forth are located there, he said. I have very serious suspicions that this is done to create the necessary environment to incite discontent among sports fans, athletes, that the state was allegedly involved in these violations and is responsible for them, Putin said. In response to our alleged interference in their elections, they want to create problems during the election of the President of Russia. Thursday's disciplinary decisions are among the first that IOC officials have made regarding Russia's state-sponsored doping program, which corrupted several Olympics, most notably the Sochi Games. Russia's Federal Security Service and sports officials staged an elaborate overnight cheating operation there to enable the nation's athletes to dope throughout competition. Late last year, the Olympic Committee provisionally suspended 28 Russian athletes who had competed in Sochi. Earlier this month, the Olympic Committee announced the first formal penalties resulting from those cases. They applied to 2 other Russian cross-country skiers, Evgeny Belov and Alexander Legkov, who won gold and silver medals in Sochi. Those results have been overturned. In addition to announcing the 4 new penalties on Thursday, the Olympic Committee said it had closed a disciplinary case against one unidentified Russian athlete. All decisions were made by a disciplinary commission appointed more than a year ago to scrutinize the individual athletes implicated in the revelations about Russia's systematic cheating, which was exposed by the nation's former anti-doping lab chief, Grigory Rodchenkov, who now lives in the United States. In 2016, Rodchenkov detailed how he had devised a 3-drug cocktail, which was administered to Russia's top Olympians. He worked overnight with security service officers, he said, to break into supposedly tamper-proof bottles of urine at the Sochi Games and swap out incriminating samples. A subsequent investigation commissioned by the World Anti-Doping Agency, global sports drug regulator, confirmed his account with forensic evidence and revealed the vast scope of the cheating, implicating some 1,000 athletes who competed from 2011 to 2015. I find it completely absurd, because alcohol mixed with steroids even is laughable, Legkov said in May 2016, the day after the New York Times had named him as one of the Russian Olympians who had ingested a specially formulated cocktail of anabolic steroids and whiskey to speed up the body's absorption of the drugs during the Games. As for steroids, I don't even know how they look and what they are. The Olympic Committee provided little detail about the cases on Thursday. The reasoning for these decisions will be communicated in due course, the organization said in a news release. Due to the nature and complexity of the cases, this thorough, comprehensive and time-consuming process has taken several months and had to involve external forensic experts, who had to develop a legally defendable methodology. Russian athletes are likely to appeal the decisions to the International Sports Arbitration Court, which is headquartered in Switzerland. The lifetime ban is vulnerable to being overturned by the court, which has previously prevented the IOC from automatically disqualifying an athlete convicted of a doping offense from a future Olympics. Another Olympic commission led by a former president of Switzerland, Samuel Schmid, is similarly scrutinizing Rodchenkov's account and deliberating how to punish Russia ahead of the 2018 Winter Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. Possible penalties under consideration by Olympic officials include preventing Russia's national anthem from playing at the Games or barring its athletes from marching at the opening ceremony. The Olympic Committee is expected to announce its decision the first week of December. Ivan Nichepurenko contributed reporting from Moscow. A version of this article appears in print on November 10, 2017, on page B13 of the New York edition with the headline, "Putin sees conspiracy after Russians' doping ban."